9. That is how many videos I put out in the month of October. You had 20 Halloween reviews, then you had 19 new movie reviews, and I'm not even counting all of the Halloween movies I saw in theaters due to Regal's Halloween list of movies. So I saw over 30 movies this month. So many movies, so much to do, and now I'm tired. Now, on a serious note, I just want to give a big thank you to all of you who did watch my videos this month. It was a lot of work, but it was a lot of fun, and I'm sad that the Halloween season is over. But we had a huge success, and I just want to give a big thank you to anyone out there who did watch my videos. Really do. I appreciate it. Now let's get into the rankings. I have 21 movies to rank for the month of October. 2 movies I did not review. Like I said, I reviewed 19 of them. There was a few movies that came out on streaming this past week that I could have watched, but I just didn't feel like it. You know, I've done a lot this month, and so I choose to sleep, I choose to hang out with my friends, so I apologize if I missed a few movies. But I have 21 at least, so that's a lot. And also, like always, this is my monthly ranking, okay? If you have a different opinion, I want to know it, respectively. Just put it down in the comments, let me know what was your favorite movie you saw this month, what was your favorite Halloween spooky movie you watched this month. Let me know what you did this month. What did you eat for breakfast this morning? How about that? Anyways, let's get straight into it. We got 21 movies. We're going to be relaxed here. Let's start at the very bottom. Number 21, Play Dirty. This is the Amazon Prime Shane Black Mark Wahlberg movie. Listen, I know a few people, even my parents, watch this movie and they're like, it was pretty fun. I think you're pretty harsh on it. I just really like Shane Black, and this movie was such a mess. I did not like this movie. It's really bad. The overstuffed with CGI, plot, characters. It's just I remember watching good Shane Black movies. The Nice Guys. We all love The Nice Guys. That's not this movie whatsoever. So, number 21, very easy actually. It's got to be Play Dirty. So, number 20. 20 is another movie I see people really going to enjoy and like, but I couldn't get into it, and that is going to be Coyotes. You probably haven't heard about this movie, but it's Justin Long's horror movie that came out this month with his wife as a co-star. The movie has its fun moments, but I do feel like a lot of the CGI Coyotes really took me out of it, and it's probably due to the budget constraints, and it makes me so sad to even say that, but you watch this movie and you can tell these actors are having fun, but sometimes I just wish they would pull back just a little bit on the humor, because it's always joke, 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 dark, gory moments that are over the top. So it's corny. It can be fun for audiences that can get into it. For me, though, it wasn't a movie that I really got into, but it wasn't god awful. So number 19, I don't know if this is a hot take, but I just think this is so artsy fartsy. Anemone, sorry if I said the name wrong, blame Finding Nemo. It's the Daniel Day-Lewis movie. Amazing performances, beautiful shots. My God, the cinematography is gorgeous. I don't know if Daniel Day-Lewis is getting nominated for Best Actor. He might, just because he's Daniel Day-Lewis. That is the only reason to watch this movie, in my opinion. It feels very long. It is boring, in my opinion. Again, it's beautifully made, but it's such an artsy school film that it didn't feel like a movie. It just felt like a movie that just wanted to show cool shots and good acting, which again, it has that, but it's not a movie I ever plan to rewatch ever again. And speaking of that, number 18, After the Hunt. Now this one is interesting. I like this a little bit more than what I'm seeing online. This movie is getting trashed on, but I thought Julia Roberts gave an Oscar-worthy performance, and I don't know if she's going to get nominated because of the bad reviews for this movie, and it seems like it's already leaving the movie theater, so we'll see when more people get the chance to see it, but I found the story to be an interesting story for today's climate, but I also see it as a movie that had too many storylines to make it more dramatic and such, when I feel like they had an Andrew Garfield character, a Julia Roberts character, and the girl from The Bear. then they tried to expand on it, and it kind of felt messy by the end. And again, I think the performances are really strong. It's a movie I liked more than others, but it's still number 18 because I just don't see myself ever really watching it. All right, number 17, our first movie that I did not review. That is Catherine Bigelow's new movie, House of Dynamite, on Netflix. I can't believe how intrigued I was in this movie. The first 20, 30 minutes of this movie, I'm like, man, I cannot wait to review this movie. This movie's really freaking good. It's about a freaking missile coming down to hit everything in America, and it tells different perspectives, point of views about this situation happening. And it felt so repetitive once you get to the different angle. And then by the end of the movie, it is such an anticlimactic ending that I just felt so disappointed that I was like, it's a movie I don't see a lot of people talking about, so I probably won't do a full review. But there was a good 30 minutes in this movie. I was like, this is one of the best movies of the year. Like, I would say that about the first half of this movie. Like, so if you do watch this movie, go in knowing there are good stuff in it. I just think it's just so repetitive, and by the end, it felt such like a slog to get through. But that first perspective, Rebecca Ferguson, I was into it, and I was saying it's one of the best movies I've seen this year. Like, that's how good it was. So, unfortunately, I do have to put number 17. Number 16. I got some hate for this because I didn't mention Nine Inch Nails. Yes, I know, Tron Ares. It flopped. Shocked? Not really. I called that. I mean, I don't see Tron fans. Now, when the movie came out, my Twitter feed popped up with a bunch of people saying "Oh, these Easter eggs and this little stuff about the Tron franchise and the legacy, whatever." Obviously, there is a fandom out there for Tron, but they didn't show it for the box office. It's visually a cool-ass movie, but man, oh man, it did not intrigue me whatsoever in this plot line. It felt redundant. It kind of reminded me of the plot line with Raptors and Jurassic World, taking the video game world and militarying them. Sure, I guess, but again, it's visually cool. It was cool to see in IMAX, but it's not a movie that I would even recommend to a lot of people because it feels like the Tron fans are the ones you should go and watch this movie for. Everyone else, I'm like, it's cool looking. That's about it. So, yeah, Tron Ares. Number 15, Regretting You. Another movie that I don't get the 15% Rotten Tomatoes. Now, I have just a little biasy because I have a friend who's an extra in this movie, and I was really happy to see her on the big screen for a split second. That was really cool to see. For the movie itself, there is character motivations in this movie that completely feel such a ewy storyline, and I've seen a little bit of people talk about it, and apparently there's some people who are like, why do we keep making books from the author, I believe who it is. I didn't know about that at all, so I was just reviewing the movie. I thought it was fine. It had its cutesy, funny moments, but it's not a movie that I'm like, I need to rewatch. I would totally rewatch Fault in Our Stars. I think that was way better done. This movie feels okay. I mean, there's solid performances, and it has funny moments for sure. All right, number 14, kind of disappointing, kind of not really. I mean, it's the Bruce Springsteen movie. I can't remember the name. Deliver Me From Nowhere, Everywhere, I don't remember. But basically, Jeremy Allen White, Best Actor nomination, awesome to see. Love You from Shameless. The movie itself, it feels like Bruce Springsteen fans can really enjoy this movie because it's about the Nebraska album. That's really cool, and I can't wait for my dad to see this movie because he's into music and he likes learning about famous musicians, how they began, whatever. So this movie is a depiction about of his life, so that might be interesting to my dad and the Bruce Springsteen fans. For general audiences, not really, and it seems like the box office definitely shows that this movie didn't do very well, but I do hope that doesn't hurt Jeremy Allen White for his Oscar nomination. I believe he gives one of his best performances of his career so far, so I hope he gets nominated for Best Actor. I would love to see it on his resume. All right, so number 13, a movie that I did not expect to get as many views, so thank you for that. Kiss of the Spider-Woman. Wow, Jennifer Lopez fans, you guys left me some comments, and I had to delete a few of you. Okay, just let you know. This movie was solid. It's from the director of Chicago, or he wrote it, or something like that. I really enjoyed the the creation of this movie, the production design, the costume design, the musical moments, but the actual story itself, to me as a general audience person for this storyline, because it is a Broadway musical, I believe, I just couldn't get into the story. But the actual production of the movie, the actual musical of the movie, really well done. Kind of a hidden gem movie in my opinion. I don't see this movie getting a lot of Oscar love. I would hope to see a production design nomination, if anything. But it's a musical that I feel like a lot of people are going to see one day and maybe admire more than me. So if you like musicals, check that one out. Number 12. This one's kind of disappointing in a way where I'm like, damn, there was so much hype about this movie. The Smashing Machine. I don't know if Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's getting nominated for Best Actor. It wouldn't shock me if he is nominated, but the movie itself, I would be irritated if this got nominated for Best Picture. This movie, there's another movie we're going to talk about later that I feel like does this type of story way better. I love the direction of this movie. I love the way they shot like the boxing scenes, the camcorder, the old type of aspect ratio and all that kind of stuff, the actual film grain. Like the movie itself is made really well. Emily Blunt gives an Oscar-worthy performance in my opinion. The movie itself and how the story is told, very repetitive, and by the end of it, didn't feel like it needed to be told. Like I feel like there was other characters in this movie that had more interesting aspects about the UFC fighting. This story just felt repetitive about him and his girlfriend with a very toxic relationship. And then all the boxing stuff felt kind of secondhand. Another movie we're going to talk about on this list does that way better. So we'll get there. So Smashing Machine, it is what it is. It's not a bad movie, but it's not a movie like I'm not going to recommend. It definitely feels Oscar baity, I would say that. All right, number 11, wait, is it number 11? It is number 11. Sorry, numbers. Number 11, we got Good Fortune. Man, it makes me kind of sad this movie's already not playing at anywhere theater near me. This is a decent little comedy. Even though they make the main character, a complete dick that you can't pull for. I love Seth Rogen and you love Keanu Reeves. There are some genuine funny moments in this movie. I hope when it ever comes to streaming, I hope people go out to see this movie or watch it because it has its funny moments. It's charming. It's lighthearted. And again, I want to see a lot of comedies in movie theaters. That used to be the summer box office. I don't understand why it came out in October, but it is what it is. It's a nice little comedy. That's about it. All right, number 10. Another movie, the only other movie I did not review this month. I really enjoyed this. This is on streaming on Paramount Plus. Vicious. I really liked it. Was it Ella Fanning or Dakota Fanning? I think it's Elle Fanning. Either way, one of the Fanning sisters. This movie is unique. And what I mean by that is if you like slow burns, you might really enjoy this. Especially as a horror fan, I feel like the ending, if it would have stuck the landing a lot better, I probably would have reviewed this movie. But after I was done watching, I was like, oh, okay, well, that ending felt very generic horror-ish. Like, the whole movie is interesting about what the Fanning sister is doing, her acting ability. It's from the director of The First Strangers. It's shot beautifully. I really love the lighting in this movie. There's some interesting blood and gore in this movie that I enjoy as a horror fan. I just think this movie's kind of hidden gem-ish. Like, I will say that. But it's not a movie I'm like, you gotta go see. But, like, if you're on Paramount Plus, you still want a cool little horror movie to watch before the holiday season kicks in, I would recommend Vicious. My mom watched it without even me knowing. She was like, have you seen this movie? I was like, yeah, I watched it a couple weeks ago. And she was like, I liked it, but I didn't like the ending. And I was like, exactly. So, there you go. All right, number 9. Number 9. This is an Apple TV movie I could have seen in theaters and I should have seen in theaters. That's The Lost Bus, starring Matthew McConaughey. This is a good-ass movie, okay? And the only reason it's low on this list is because I feel like the other movies on this list, I probably would rather rewatch than The Lost Bus. I like this movie, though. Like, I recommend this movie highly enough. Now, it coming out in the spooky season, it kind of put it down the list for me because there's a couple horror movies we're about to talk about. But this movie's really good. It's really well filmed. It's directed by Paul Greengrass. It's intense. Matthew McConaughey gives a great performance. It's on Apple TV. It's a disaster movie, like a disaster movie. And I really enjoyed it. It's got some really wonky CGI in a few parts, but it's needed because it's about one of the biggest, if not the biggest, California fire ever. So I like this movie. It's on Apple TV. I recommend it. All right, number 8. This makes me so happy. We're talking about Good Boy. I saw on Twitter, I don't know if it's true, the director is submitting The Dog for Best Actor. Please and thank you. Now, I know there's no way it can happen. I understand that. But Good Boy is a very, very indie horror film that is unique because it's told from a dog perspective in a horror film. I'm glad this movie did well, but it didn't do like as good as I was hoping it was, because the trailer came out and people were like, I can't watch this movie, does the dog die? And I feel like that kind of hurt the movie because people really didn't want to see this movie because if the dog dies or not. I answered that question in my review, so go see if you want to find out the answer. For the movie itself, it's really unique because of that, but besides that, it's pretty generic horror movie. It's just cool because it's a dog's perspective, and the dog gives one of the best performances of the year. This is amazing acting. And to learn, this movie took I think 2.5 years to film. I did not know that. I see why, and I understand why it's an hour and 10-minute movie, because it's about a dog, and it's a scary movie with a lot of scary situations. For an indie movie, this is inspiring. It's really cool. So I say watch this movie because of how unique it is. So I recommend it. All right, number 7, this recent watch I actually watched this morning. We got Begonia. I do believe Emma Stone will get nominated for Best Actress. I don't know if she's going to win. We'll see when it comes down to the final 5. I think the movie tells a really interesting story for a Yorgos Lanthimos movie. It feels very mainstream. It feels like a lot of people can watch this movie and not say it's really stupid or weird, because I feel like a lot of people said that about Poor Things. I said that about Kinds of Kindness, and I didn't like that movie. For this movie, it feels pretty much straightforward. It gets gory, it gets crazy in the third act, but I expected that as a Yorgos fan. So I feel like general audiences, I'm interested to see if they go and see this movie and what they think about it. But I enjoyed it. So I would say it's one of my favorite Yorgos movie, but I would still say Poor Things is probably my favorite. All right, number 6. Wow. Talk about a weird movie to talk about that kind of sucks because I liked it. It's obviously number 6. That's Shelby Oaks. First things first, hell yes. This movie made its budget back in the first 36 hours. That is awesome. As a person that wants to make movies one day, who wanted to do movie reviews because of Chris Stuckmann or inspired by, that was awesome. To see how much hate he is getting and the movie itself, just because of what he is as a person who does reviews, how he doesn't do negative reviews. It's weird, and I don't like that. Again, I'm a person that helped support this movie with my own money. I had a friend in this movie, so I'm a little biased, and people in my comments were like, dude, I don't want to hear your opinion. You're the person who helped make this movie. I want a real review. I gave it a B. I have issues. Same thing with Good Boy. It's not a horror movie that's going to change the genre. I feel like people are walking in this movie saying, ooh, Chris Stuckmann, it's got to be a horror movie that's a standout. It's got to be Hereditary, a first-time director, something amazing. It's not. It's very generic. It's very, very indie. I mean, you watch this movie, there's not a ton that can be done on a $1.5 million budget. So I don't know what people are really expecting when they walk into this movie, but it's getting so much weird hate that I'm just not for it. Watch the movie or don't watch it. Watch the movie, make your opinion, or just don't watch it if you don't want to support them. But for me, I needed this movie to do well. I wish it did even better, but for an indie standards, they did it. They made their money back, and I'm intrigued to see what they do this Halloween weekend for the box office. So that's my final say on that. All right, number 5. This is the other fighting boxing movie that I relate to the Smash Machine. That is Christie. So yes, this movie comes out in November, but I did see it early, so I'm counting it towards October. I think Sydney Sweeney, right now, for my viewers, for seeing all the movies I've seen so far, I think Sydney Sweeney gives Best Actress winning performance. She is physically really good in this movie. Her acting ability is the best I've seen from her. This movie itself has generic boxing build-up and then the fall a little bit, but it also deals with a toxic relationship that is really well done by Ben Foster's performance. This is what the Smashing Machine wanted to be, in my opinion. I think Christie is a very good boxing sports movie, while also being a movie that's very dramatic about a person in this relationship. And I think there's great Oscar performances. I would hope Sydney Sweeney gets nominated for Best Actress. I would be shocked if she's not. But again, people give her shit for wearing jeans, so who knows? I will stop with that joke, by the way. All right, number 4, here we go. Here's the Halloween spooky movie people were asking for. Number 4 is Black Phone 2. Okay, I gave it, I think a B-. I saw this movie again. I still feel the same way about it. The first one is way better, but I like this movie. I enjoy this movie. I went with a group of my friends for the second viewing. They all really enjoyed it. One of my friends was like, it's too much like Freddy Krueger. He was like, I feel like they were trying to make a Freddy Krueger movie just without Freddy Krueger. And I was like, you're kind of right, but for that matter, it's pretty awesome. I love the Super 8 camera that they use. I love just the graininess in this movie. I freaking love that stuff. I love the gore. I love Ethan Hawke. I love our main performances from our main 2 young leads. So in the end, I recommend the movie. I just think the first one is way better, and when you watch this story play out, this movie does feel like it's like, we really want a sequel. We really want to stretch this out. We want to expand on everything, and not everything needs answers, and this movie does that, unfortunately. So, number 4 is Black Phone. Number 3, this was a hidden gem, and I'm shocked how much I like this one. Number 3 is Roof Man. I think a lot of people have started to say it, so I'm going to say it now. This is Channing Tatum's best performance. This movie's funny, this movie's intense, and this movie's also a true freaking story about a guy living in Toys R Us in Charlotte, which I'm an hour and a half away from. So, yes, I had people I know who were extras in this movie, which is really cool, and I could have been an extra, but this movie is really, really just unique. And it makes it more different because it's a true story, and you have great performances. It's funny. It almost is basically a Christmas movie. You could watch it. It feels like a snuggle movie. I can see people why. A lot of people have been saying that. I can see why by the end of this movie, it feels like a warm blanket movie to laugh, to cry to. So I really recommend Roof Man. If you want a good story with good acting, this is a hidden little movie. I don't see it getting it awards love, but this one's a good little movie. I recommend it. So, number 2, people might be a little mad. People might be like, what are you talking about? This is the best horny horror movie I've seen in a while. Number 2 is Bone Lake. Yes, there is a plot point in this movie that's very unneeded and ewy, but man, the direction, the performances, just how it was paced, I had fun with this movie. And yes, it helps that I saw this movie in October for the spooky season. This movie has great performances. It's got great dialogue. You can relate to the love and relationships in this movie. And then you get into the horror aspects, and it's a lot of fun. The direction was just you can tell there was confidence directing this movie. And with the editing, the costuming, everything about this movie. I had a ton of fun with this one. Again, it's not a perfect movie. The third act has a very weak final fight action scene on a boat that I didn't really care for. And like I said, there's a reveal that I don't see what was needed for. Maybe on rewatch, maybe I missed something, but on that first watch, I was like, ugh. So yes, number 2 is Bone Lake, the best horny horror movie you could watch. And number 1, this isn't too much of a shocker, and yes, it comes out in November on Netflix. Sorry, not sorry, but I drove a long way to see this in the movie theater, and that is Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. This movie is very unique. This movie is very well done. It's not a perfect movie, though. I have issues as a Frankenstein fan of that original book, but when you watch this movie, you can just see the passion Guillermo is doing. Jacob Elordi, I've said it once and I'll say it again, I will be very irritated if he's not nominated for Best Supporting Actor. Come on, I'm not expecting him to win. I'm not. But he deserves a nomination. He gives one of the best performances of the year. Oscar Isaac's very good in this movie. Christoph Waltz, Mia Goth, they are good in this movie, but I wish a lot of the side characters got more to do with the movie. But I understand Frankenstein's monster. First half is Frankenstein, and then you more into Frankenstein's monster in the second half. Makes sense for the story and what the movie is trying to do. But overall, if I had to say, it's not the best movie of the year or anything, but for this month, for the spooky season, it was my number one. Whew, okay, so that is the month of October. Hope you enjoyed that. 21 movies. Man, again, I'm not even counting all the Halloween movies I saw at Regal. Like, I saw quite a few. So, I hope you enjoyed that ranking. We got November coming up. I'm hoping not to do 20 plus, but there is a lot coming out in November. So, the one I'm most looking forward to is pretty generic, but I gotta say Wicked for Good. I really liked the first Wicked from last year, so I'm intrigued to see how they play out the second half of the musical. So I'm excited for that, but to give a little shout to those little movies, obviously The Running Man with Edgar Wright. It's Edgar Wright. That alone, like, Edgar Wright's making a movie, I want to see it. And then it's Running Man with Glenn Powell. It looks a lot of fun. You also have the Predator movie, which I'm very wishy-washy on. I mean, it looks cool, but like PG-13, it not being as hard R, like it just feels a little off to me. But again, it's from the guy who made Prey, so like I should trust this movie, so I'm interested on that one. And there's a bunch of Oscar movies coming out this month that I'll review, and you know, Oscar season, gotta love it. So anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this monthly ranking. I got it right. I didn't say freaking review. Hope you guys enjoyed this review. I can't believe I just did that. End the video. See you later on the next one. Bye.